Good morning. I'm Desiree Joy Evelo, and welcome to Radiant Joy Yoga and Fitness. Today's workshop, Teaching Foundations, Building Strong Cueing and Adjustment Skills for New Yoga Teachers, is for all of my instructors out there that feel new and maybe aren't quite sure what to do yet. This workshop is for you to help you hone your essential teaching skills. In today's class, we're learning how to teach, not just do 9 foundational poses. Our focus is going to be on, first, strong verbal cues, making them clear, safe, and simple. Secondly, kinesthetic awareness, so we can guide our students towards what a pose might feel like. Number 3, hands-on assists. When to do them, why we're going to use them, and how to always honor your students' consent. And finally, student empowerment. We want to remember that yoga is a collaboration, never a correction. Our students are part of that process, so it's always great to collaborate with them. In Pantanjali's Yoga Sutras, Sutra 2, Sloka 46, we are reminded that yoga postures should be comfortable and easeful. Our instruction should also be the same way. We're there to make our students comfortable, put them at ease, keep them safe and secure. When we talk about cues, we're guiding our students with our voice to get them into a position. In order to do that, our cues have to be strong, clear, and concise. Sometimes us yoga instructors kind of use some flowery yoga terms like shining your heart space forward or grounding your third eye. Well, think about your students. If you have a group of new students that have not practiced yoga before and haven't heard a lot of yoga language, they do not know what you are talking about. So as you begin cueing, let's use clear, concise language. So tell them the body part, which way it needs to go in space. Be very clear about that. Keep it simple as well. Less words are usually better than more. Always be directional and offer some kinesthetic awareness as well. And what that means, directing your students to maybe what they might feel in a pose. That's important because not all people learn the same way. Some people are visual learners, they want to see you demo. Some people are auditory learners, so they learn by listening to your cues. Some people need that kinesthetic awareness too. If you tell them to push your hand in your mat, that pushing, that's what gets them to turn on and understand what you're talking about. As we go into hands-on assists, it's important to know when, why, and how to do them. Hands-on assists always need to come with a good intention. What is your intention when you're going to touch your student? If you're coming in with a place of love, compassion, safety, and security, that's a good thing. If you're coming in with the intention to make them look better in the pose or to push them deeper, do not give the adjustment. We're never there to force somebody in something or push them into a shape that their body can't handle. And most importantly, we always want consent. Your students have agency. You do not want to creep them out by touching them if they didn't agree to it. So there's a number of ways you can go about that during your classes. You can create a consent card. Maybe you have a card that's green on one side, red on the other. They can put that down on their mat and they can flip it at any time. Green means go. Yes, I want a hands-on adjustment. Red, no, please don't touch me. They have agency, so they can decide halfway through a class that I don't want to be touched anymore, and that's okay. Always let them know that you're approaching. They're going to be in a very relaxed state. Some of them might have their eyes closed. You don't want to sneak up on them. Let them know that you're approaching and let them know, hey, I see you might be struggling here. Can I give you a hands-on assist? Let them tell you yes or no. And remember, if you feel uncomfortable touching your students, don't give a hands-on assist. They're going to pick up on that. They can feel your nervous energy. So just let it sit. Your hands-on assists are typically your last in the line of your teaching skills that you want to use. You want your students to get into that pose and feel that for themselves. If you're watching your students closely and developing that skill of observing your class and knowing what comfort and discomfort looks like, that's when you'll know when a hands-on assist is warranted. When watching your students, see their face. Are they calm, relaxed, or do you see a lot of effort? Their faces are scrunched up. Look at their feet. Are they wobbling? Do they feel secure? You can tell just by their body language whether they feel good in a pose or not. Once you see that and you see you're struggling, but your cueing has been strong, clear, simple, you've given them directions, where to go, how to do it, you've given them that kinesthetic awareness, and they're still not getting it, that's where your hands-on assist comes in. Let them know, I'm here to help. You don't look very comfortable in this posture. You're not looking very steady. Can I help you by giving you a hands-on assist? Most often, they'll let you come in and they'll give you a yes. Students often don't know what something's supposed to feel like in their body. So with a gentle hands-on assist, you're giving that awareness to their body, that kinesthetic awareness. Then they'll know what it's supposed to feel like. And then as you continue through your practice, they'll know where to go from there in further classes. How can you empower your students during your class? Well, I like to use props. If you do not model your props, your students will not be empowered and not know how to use them. So I urge you, new yoga instructors, you might be a badass. You might be able to do those big poses. But remember, your classes are for your students, not for you. Model, demo using your props. When you do so, it makes your students more confident and they'll feel more comfortable using them. If you don't model them, your students feel like they're less than if they have to modify a pose and use props. Let them know that you're there to support them and the props are there to help make the pose fit their body, not force their body into a pose. Once you've got all of those things going for you, you can make your classes the best student experience possible, and your students will keep coming back. So let's get out our mat. We'll also be using blocks and a strap and perhaps a blanket today. So let's get on our mats and let's do this together. I'm being joined by my student model, Charles, today. Charles is graciously doing this for me, and he's also my husband. So thank you for joining me today. He's starting off here in Sukhasana, an easy seated pose. Charles, I'm going to have you swing your legs around to the long edge and extend your legs forward. we're having Charles coming into Paschimottanasana, or a seated forward fold. On your inhale, let's sweep arms up overhead, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, hinge forward from your hips, letting your hands fall wherever they do. Now, Charles has pretty tight hamstrings, so he's unable to fold much farther than this. You'll see in many of your students a common misalignment. Try to come forward just a little bit more, Charles. You notice they start rounding their back. In order to help correct that, let's ease him back out of the posture. Charles, I'm going to have you come up just a little bit so your back stops rounding. We notice that his toes, his legs are pretty relaxed. Charles, I want you to flex your toes towards your face. Now take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. Now with that rounding, what you can do for a student right here, let's offer a prop to start with. Charles, I'm going to help you here. I'm going to bring this around your toes. Go ahead and grab those straps in your hand, keeping a loose grip on there. They're just there to guide you. Now, straighten your spine. So when you offer this prop, they're automatically getting the length of the spine and they're getting the hamstring stretch that you need. Charles, I'm going to have you let's drop the strap now. Now in Paschimottanasana, if you have a very tight student, you might see their toes start to turn out. When their toes start turning out, that's a sign that their hamstrings have released and that you're overtaxing them. Something that you can do if you notice that and they're really struggling to get in, or their legs aren't able to press into the mat, if they have very tight hamstrings, we can roll a blanket. Charles, let's place that underneath your knees. With that little bit of bend in the knees, let's go ahead, inhale, bring arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. You might notice by offering that prop underneath the knees, that releases the hamstrings, and it automatically gives them a little bit more hip hinge forward. If your students are super tight in Paschimottanasana, I would not suggest giving a hands-on assist because you're pushing their body into something that does not feel good for them. One hands-on adjustment that you can give. Charles, do I have permission to give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
You can bring your hands to the bony part of their pelvis. Charles, go ahead and take an inhale for me. And exhale, fold forward. You can help them find that hip hinge forward. Charles, I'm going to have you come to all fours into tabletop pose on the mat. From tabletop, I'm having you come into Virasana, or hero pose. So walk your hands back towards your body and sit your hips back onto your heels. You may notice in Virasana that can be incredibly hard on the knees, and your students may not be able to sit back all the way. So an assist that you can give for students, Charles, I'm going to bring this blanket, place it right here. Go ahead and sit back on the blanket. You notice that gives them a little bit lift up, takes a little bit of pressure off of the knees. From Virasana, we're going to bring him into Balasana, or child's pose. Charles, let's hip hinge forward, lower your forehead down to the mat. Then extend your arms down your sides. In Balasana, you may notice that some of your students struggle to get their forehead to the mat. Something that you can offer for them here, bringing a block to them. Charles, go ahead. Inhale, lift up. I'm going to place this block underneath your forehead. Go ahead and ground your forehead on that. Bringing your hands back down to the sides. Offering them a prop helps bring them into the position more comfortably with less struggle. Charles, I'm going to remove that. Go ahead and come all the way back down to the mat. A hands-on assist that you can do in Balasana or child's pose. Charles, do I have permission to touch you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming in with my hands on assist. Nice broad hands, bringing to the bony part of the pelvis. Charles, take an inhale for me. And exhale. Hinging him forward. Now, you can keep one hand on the bony part of the pelvis. Charles, take an inhale for me. And exhale. Bringing my hand down the opposite side, one hand on the shoulder. Now doing the opposite side, hand on the bony part of the pelvis. Big inhale for me. And exhale, hand comes down the back, coming to the opposite shoulder. Now from Balasana, we're coming into Adho, Mukha, Virasana. Charles, go ahead and extend your arms forward, keeping your head grounded to the mat. We often refer to Adho, Mukha, Virasana as extended child's pose. So in your extended child's pose, you may also notice if your student is struggling, keeping the head down to the mat, you have that option to offer a block to them. Charles, go ahead and inhale, lift your head, bringing that block to their forehead, allowing them to ground the forehead on the mat. Brings them into the position more comfortably. So in Adho Mukha Virasana, we're finding lengthening through the back. If you see your student struggling with that, you can offer a hands-on assist. Charles, do I have permission to come in and give you an assist?
Yes.
Hands coming to the bony part of the pelvis, giving some pressure here. Go ahead, take a deep inhale for me, and exhale, hinging forward. Now maybe we bring our thumbs to the sides of the spine, not on the spine itself, walking your thumbs down the spine, helping them release and find length through the back. You can also do the adjustment we just offered in Balasana. Hand on the bony part of the pelvis. Let's bring the opposite hand to the opposite shoulder blade. Take a deep breath in for me. And exhale. Now switching sides. One hand on the pelvis. Opposite hand comes to opposite shoulder blade. Go ahead, take a deep inhale. And exhale. I noticed with that, he found more length in the back and he was able to relax into the posture. Now we're bringing him in to Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. Charles, go ahead, tuck your toes under. With your next inhale, push your hands into the mat and lift your knees. And exhale, lift hips up and back. Now, Charles, I want you to spread your fingers nice and wide, making starfish hands, and rotate your hands outwards so your elbow creases start to face forward. In in downward facing dog, we're trying to find length through the hamstrings, length through the back, and opening the shoulders. Charles, do I have permission to give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
In order to help with those shoulders, if you can notice if they're not relaxing them back and down, let's bring your hand like so to the shoulder blades. Chuck, take a deep inhale for me. And exhale, let's relax those shoulder blades down the back, squeezing them together. All right. Now finally, what we're looking for in our downward facing dog is lifting the hips up and pushing them back. If you notice your students are having trouble doing that, you can come behind them. Charles, may I give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
Bringing your hands to the outside of the hips, to the bony part. Try to take a deep inhale for me. And exhale. In one movement, we're pulling the hips up and back using your body weight. And releasing. Now you may notice that your students may not be able to get your heels to the mat, and that is just fine. Let them stay where they are. If you notice they're having a lot of trouble, a big bend in their knees, you can offer props to your student. Charles is very, very tall. Charles, I'm going to have you drop down to your knees. You can also offer them a set of blocks to give them a little bit more lift. I'm going to bring blocks underneath your hands, keeping those hands shoulder width apart. Go ahead, inhale, lift the knees off of the mat, and exhale, lift hips up and back. Now you notice with a few inches added of your blocks, he was able to extend through the legs a little bit more. So that's something you can offer your students as well. Go ahead and exhale, lower back down to the mat onto your knees. Charles, go ahead and come up to standing. I'm going to have you go ahead and face the camera in the center of the mat. Having Charles come into Tadasana, our mountain pose. So in our mountain pose, feet are parallel to each other. Legs are hip distance width apart. And what that means, sometimes your students will try to bring their legs a little bit wider. When we say bring your legs hip distance width apart, what that actually means, we're keeping our femur in line with our hip. So we want them to stack the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Let's spread our toes wide, evenly distributing our weight along the ball of the pinky toe, the ball of the big toe, and the back corners of our heel. Let's lift our arches, lift the kneecaps, and activate our abdominals. What that feels like, maybe having your students bring their fingers to their abdominals, feel that muscle wrapping across and lifting up. And then let's bring arms down to our sides. Let's lift the shoulders up, roll them back down our back, and keep our chin parallel to the mat. Mountain pose or Tadasana. Sometimes you may see your students struggling with the hip width, so that's something you can gently guide them into. And then also, we're trying to find relaxation through the shoulders. Sometimes your students don't even know that they're not relaxing their shoulders, and they may not know what that feels like. So if you see someone with shoulders up to their ears, maybe offer them a hands-on assist. Charles, I'm going to have you turn with your back facing the camera. Now let's pretend Charles' shoulders were all the way up here, and I asked him, relax your shoulders back and down. If he's unable to do that, Charles, can I give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking my hands, bringing some gentle pressure on the shoulders down. Notice him, he just relaxed. Charles, take a deep inhale for me. And exhale. Bring your shoulder blades down your back, squeeze them together. So you notice just by that gentle hand movement, he was able to relax shoulders back and down, giving him some kinesthetic cues and some more awareness in his body. All right. Our next posture is Warrior One. Charles, I'm going to have you face the short edge of our mat. Come all the way up to the top of the mat. Feet hip distance width apart in your mountain pose. And take a step back with your left foot. Feet should be hip distance width apart. So you notice here he automatically stepped into a stance where one foot's directly behind the other. So he's not going to feel very secure in this posture. Charles, I'm going to have you open up your feet like they're on railroad tracks. So bring this foot out a little bit more. Perfect. We'll have you bend the front knee so your knee is directly over your ankle. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. So we may notice in Warrior One, a lot of times people have their knee over their ankle coming towards their toes. You can cue your students. Can you see your toes in front of your knee? If they can't, you can have them adjust. If they're not quite sure what to do, Charles, you can bring your hands down. Come in with a hands-on assist. Charles, I want to help you find a little bit more stability in your posture. Bringing my hand in front of your knee. Go ahead, press your knee into my hand until you find them alignment with the knee directly over the ankle. You may also notice your students have a tendency to roll their knee in towards the midline, their knees collapsing. In order to help with that, let's bring 2 fingers to the outside or your full hand to the outside of your knee. Charles, go ahead and push your knee into my hand. Now, what does that feel like once I did that in your body?
More stable.
Perfect. That's exactly what they're looking for. Charles, go ahead, inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Another common misalignment that you might see in your students, when they reach their arms overhead, their shoulders tend to track and lift all the way up to their ears. We want them to relax the shoulder blades down the back. If they're having trouble doing that, a simple hands-on adjustment that you can do. Charles, do I have permission to touch you?
Yes.
Okay, bringing your hand to the shoulders. Go ahead, inhale and exhale. Pull the shoulder blades down, squeeze them back. So you notice just by doing that, his shoulders came down. Sometimes your students are also unable to square their shoulders forward. What we're looking for, shoulders should always be squared forward. So if you notice one shoulder is forward or back, you can also give a gentle assistance there. Just by bringing a hand to the back of your shoulder. Charles, do I have permission to touch you?
Yes.
All right, you can just gently bring them into alignment, just like so. All right, go ahead and exhale. Bring arms down, step back up to the top of the mat. Let's go ahead and even you out. Let's have you come into Warrior One on the opposite side. So planting left foot, stepping back with our right foot. Feet hip distance width apart, turning your toes, back toes out to a 45-degree angle. Let's square your shoulders forward and inhale. Sweep those arms up and overhead, relaxing the shoulder blades down our back. Warrior One. And go ahead, exhale, bring those hands down and step up to the top of your mat. Charles, let's go ahead and have you open up to the long edge of the mat facing the camera. The next posture is Warrior Two. And if you're a new yoga instructor, sometimes getting someone from a Warrior One to a Warrior Two can be a little bit difficult. So how I like to cue Warrior Two, I like to have my students come into a 5-pointed star first. So Charles, Open up the legs, take a nice wide stance. And inhale, bringing your arms out in level with your shoulders. With your next breath, go ahead and pivot open with your right foot facing the short edge of your mat. Your left toes should be facing forward to the long edge of your mat. So, Warrior Two is an open hip posture and open chest. One of the most common misalignments you will see here, first with your arms. Students often don't have that proprioception, noticing where their body parts are in space and time. So what I'd like to do, go ahead and look behind you, see where your arm is. Is it in line with your shoulder? If not, have them lift it up, see what that feels back, and then look over your front hand. Let's squeeze those shoulder blades together and bring them down the back. You'll often see a lot of misalignments with their feet, cueing your students to look down, lining up their heel with the arch of their back foot. Bending that front knee, keeping your knee in line with their ankle. Something that you can do for your students if they're not feeling very stable or secure, let's bring your foot to the outside of their back foot. Charles, go ahead, push your foot into mine. How did that make you feel in the posture?
Good, more stable.
More stable, excellent. And go ahead and lift this back arm up. He might not know that it's not there, so you can also offer a hands-on assistant. Charles, do I have permission to give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
You can bring 2 fingers underneath the arm. Go ahead and inhale for me. And exhale. There we go. Bring your head facing forward. And we have a lovely Warrior Two. Charles, I'm going to have you relax your arms now. And we're going to look at his leg. We often have in new students a tendency to rotate that knee inwards. So what you can do, bring your hand to the outside of the knee. Charles, I'm going to have you push your knee into my hand, and then they automatically find that alignment. Now we have a very stable and secure Warrior Two. Charles, I'm going to have you come out of that, open up to the front of the mat. And of course, it's not yoga if we don't even them out. So let's have you come into Warrior Two on the opposite side. I'll have you open up to your 5-pointed star. And with your next inhale, pivot your left foot open to the short edge of your mat. Line up your heel with the arch of your back foot. Front knee is bent, keeping it in line with your ankle. Take a look back. See where your arms are in space. Get your arms nice and level with your shoulders, and then relax those shoulder blades down the back, squeezing them together. Virabhadrasana II or Warrior Two. And exhale. Go ahead, lower down and come out of that. Thank you. From Warrior Two, we'll have Charles flow into extended side angle or Utthita Parsvakonasana. So as we exhale, hip hinging forward, lowering your forearm to your thigh. And reaching up and over with the top arm. So in our extended side angle, we're looking for length through the side body, and also opening the chest. You may notice your students also struggling to lift that arm up and over. Charles, I'm going to go ahead, have you exhale, bring your arm back down to your side. Something that you can do in this posture to get that arm where you want it, up and over close to the ear, you may notice there's this bony part of your shoulder called the acromion process, and sometimes it's hard to lift your shoulder up and over. So what you can do, Charles, do I have permission to give you a hands-on assist?
Yes.
All right, I'm bringing my hand to the top of his shoulder, one hand to his wrist. Charles, go ahead and inhale for me, And exhale, we're rotating the arm up and over. Now, a common misalignment, your students might collapse their chest in. In order to help with that, you can bring one hand to the hip, to the bony part, another hand coming to the shoulder. Go ahead and inhale and exhale. You're opening the chest up. Thanks for joining me here on the mat today, new yoga instructors. I hope that with this video, you feel more confident teaching your classes. Remember, your voice and your presence are the most powerful tools you have as a yoga instructor. I hope this video helped you today. Go out there, give your students the best possible experience you can. If you liked this video, please like it, share it with others that might need it, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Have a great day.